So if you've studied writing, even at all, then you've probably heard that the secret to getting great stories is to have great characters. You already know that. But how do you write a great character? Well, I'm going to tell you the #1 character creating secret, and this is something most writers actually get wrong. Going into more detail about avoiding this mistake and what to do instead is what we're going to cover today. Hi Novelteer, I'm Devlin Blake, novel writing and self-publishing expert, coach, and published author, and former ghostwriter of 200 books. At the end, I'm going to give you a special offer for a special program, so stay tuned. Now in screenwriting, they talk about making your characters likable. They call this the pet the puppy moment, where your reader bonds with the character because they like them. Even a heartless killer will pet the puppy, and that makes readers bond with them. Only, it doesn't. That's actually not how character creation works at all. And it hasn't worked that way for a very long time. Readers do not care if your characters are likable. They don't care about petting the puppy. They care if your characters are compelling. And that's two entirely different things. It's entirely possible to write an unlikable character that readers can't get enough of, as well as a perfectly likable character that bores a reader so much they close the book. In fact, unless you're writing in a specialized genre like cozy, the reader has to be more invested in the bad, unlikable character, even more so than the likable one, in order to remain invested in your book. This is especially true if the unlikable character is in fact your main character. Stories that include unlikable characters as the main include Walter from Breaking Bad, Patrick Bateman in American Psycho, Humbert from Lolita, don't get me started on that book, and Jerry Seinfeld from Seinfeld. If you're familiar with the stories, you know these aren't good people. They aren't likable. They have little to no redeeming value. They're likely to ignore a puppy rather than pet it. Some of them might even kick it. But that fact didn't drive people away from these stories. It attracted them. Why? Well, they're interesting characters. They act in a way that normal people don't, and we see that right away. Humans are fascinated by the differences between us, especially if we don't actually have to interact with these people or those differences in real life. It appeals to humanity's voyeuristic nature to watch people do things they would never dare do, or even think of doing for more than a fraction of a second. Now, can you think of some other characters that aren't likable, but are thoroughly enjoyable to watch? Mention them below. So does that mean that you have to write an unlikable character? No, of course not, especially if it doesn't fit the story. But what it does mean is that you don't have to waste time figuring out how to make your character likable and relatable. You don't have to give them a pet the puppy moment. What you need to do instead is make them compelling. Make them interesting. The heroes and the villains both need to be interesting. You can achieve this through the use of archetypes, through thoroughly developed characters, rich backstories, and creating three-dimensional characters. And now for that special offer I've promised. I've placed my best-selling Creative Compelling Character course at the link below at a 10% discount, just for watchers of this video. You're not going to see this offer in many other videos. It's part of my Path to Writing and Publishing a Novel program, along with many other courses. So check out that course, get your 10%, and also check out the Path to Writing and Publishing a Novel at the link below.